So today we're diving into a really interesting topic, what we're calling the self-awareness trap. Overthinking, rumination, too much analysis, when insight turns into paralysis.
Yeah, and ironically, self-awareness is usually a good thing, right? But somehow, people start feeling stuck in their own thoughts, like they're drowning in insight but unable to move forward.
Exactly. I've talked with folks who say, I know why I feel this way, I know where it comes from, and yet they're still stuck. Almost like being self-aware has become the problem.
That's such a key point. It's like there's this illusion that if we just understand enough, then we'll finally fix the problem. But that understanding doesn't always lead to change.
Right? So what's actually happening here? Why does deep self-knowledge sometimes feel more like a burden than a breakthrough?
I think part of it is that we confuse knowing with doing. Just because I can articulate my patterns doesn't mean I've worked with them. Insight is only step one.
And maybe we're too comfortable staying in that insight space because it feels productive, even though it's not leading to action.
Totally. It's like reorganizing your desk over and over again without ever starting your work. Looks like effort, but it's not progress.
I love that. And I think there's also this fear underneath. Like, we keep thinking because doing feels risky. If I choose, I might be wrong. If I move, I might fail.
Which brings up a huge point. Overthinking is often a strategy to avoid vulnerability. It's safer to keep analyzing than to risk actually doing the thing.
That makes me think of perfectionism. This idea that we have to know enough before we act. But honestly, when do we ever know enough?
Never. And I think there's freedom in realizing that. Sometimes good enough really is good enough.
That leads into a practical question. How do we know when we've crossed the line from helpful reflection into unproductive rumination?
One cue is when the thinking feels circular. If you're having the same thoughts without new insights, that's probably rumination.
I've started using a little trick. Set a 5-minute timer. Dump all your thoughts out, then pick the 3 most important things. If you're still stuck after that, it might be time to act, not think.
I love that. It also helps to notice how you feel while you're thinking. If your body's tense, your chest is tight. That's a sign your thinking is actually anxiety wearing a logic costume.
That's so real. And I think it connects to self-trust. Like, if I don't believe in my own judgment, of course, I'll keep looping the same questions.
Which means that learning to trust yourself, even if it's imperfect, is essential. We can't think our way into confidence. We practice our way into it.
That's such a shift in mindset. From figure it all out before I act, to learn by doing, adjust as I go.
And it brings us to this idea of experimentation. Just try something. Treat it like a rep, not a final verdict on who you are.
Exactly. Buy the headphones, try them on. Maybe you'll realize the only real difference is which one fits your head better.
That's a perfect metaphor. Experience gives us the answers that thought can't always provide.
So if we're stuck in the self-awareness trap, what's one small move someone could try today?
I'd say, make a choice based on what you know right now. Not perfectly, just presently. Then observe what happens. That's where growth lives.
Love that. And remember, you don't have to be an expert on yourself to take the next step. You just need a little courage and a lot of kindness toward the part of you that's scared.
Couldn't have said it better.